Okay, so how are you guys? Good? All good? Okay, all right. So I welcome all of you in today's first section of 3 years integrated batch. This is the weekday batch, right? And in today first class, we are going to talk about some of the basics of civil services examination, whether you want to prepare for the civil services examination or not, how the examination is conducted. In addition to this, we are also going to talk about how you should prepare for this examination and what is going to be our roadmap for next 3 years. So these all issues I'm going to discuss in today's class. I'm going to speak in English. At the same time, I'm also going to speak in Marathi. मी इंग्रजीमध्ये बोलणार आहे. जे मी इंग्रजीमध्ये बोलणार आहे ते मी मराठीमध्ये पण सांगणार आहे. आजच्या ह्या पहिल्या सेशनमध्ये आपण नेमकी युपीएससीची सिव्हिल सर्व्हिस एक्झामिनेशन काय असते याची माहिती घेणार आहोत. ती तुम्हाला करायची आहे का नाही किंवा ती परीक्षा तुम्हाला द्यायची आहे का नाही याची पण थोडीशी आपण चाचपणी करणार आहोत. आणि याच्या जोडीला आपण नेमका येणाऱ्या 3 वर्षाच्या कालावधीमध्ये याचा नेमका रोडमॅप कसा असायला पाहिजे याची चर्चा करणार. राईट, तर या गोष्टींची आपण चर्चा करणार आहोत. सो शॅल वी बिगिन आवर डिस्कशन? ओके, ऑल राईट. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट. Okay, is there anybody in the classroom who doesn't understand Marathi at all? असं कोणी आहे का ज्याला मराठी अजिबात समजत नाही? All you understand Marathi. Right, so I'm going to ask few questions to all of you first. मी सुरुवातीला काही प्रश्न तुम्हाला विचारणार आहे. My first question is, do you know what are civil services? तुम्हाला हे माहिती का सिव्हिल सर्व्हिसेस काय असतात? You just simply can raise your hands. I'm not going to ask you to explain the civil services. माहिती आहेत का? See, if you let me know whether you know about it or not, accordingly we can direct our discussion. Okay, any idea what are civil services? Yes or no? You have any idea? Little loud. Yeah, I can understand you may not have a complete idea of civil service examination, but have you heard the word at least? You heard the word at least? Okay. Okay. The second question is, how many of you have visited for any government office so far? तुम्ही कुठल्या गव्हर्नमेंट ऑफिसला विजिट केली? केलेली? Which office? Passport office. Okay, the very first passport office. Want to fly abroad for many reasons, or maybe for tourism, maybe for education, maybe for other reasons. Maybe simply it is a prestigious issue to have passport. तुम्ही विचारलं म्हणू शकतो पासपोर्ट आहे माझ्याकडे. ठीक आहे. Okay. Any other office? Collector office. Tahsildar's office. Okay. Jilla Parishad. Any government office? BSNL. Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited. Okay. It is a company which provides a telephone services. Okay. Any? DF office. Okay. Divisional Forest Office, officer's office. No. DSP office, District Superintendent of Police Office. I was waiting for this answer. Police station. Whether I visited police station or not, that is not the place which is generally, very frequently visited by common men. Rather, that is not the place where everybody is expecting us, right? But these are good people. Don't worry about the people. Any government office? Okay, there's a list: Tahsil office, police station, passport. Post office, very important. Post office, it provides us so many good services. Talati office, okay, neha Talati office मध्ये जाऊन आलेली आहे. Fine. Okay. Any other office? Court. Okay, कोर्टामध्ये जाऊन आलेला आहे. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask what type of court. And even I ask, I'm not going to become judgmental. Okay. See, we live in a complex society. आपण अशा समाजामध्ये राहतो की तो समाज बऱ्यापैकी कॉम्प्लेक्स आहे. In what sense it is a complex society? आपला समाज कॉम्प्लेक्स कसा आहे? Because in India, it has huge population. And this huge population is a diverse one. It's not only population. It's a diverse population. We have got so many religions. We have got so many castes. We have got so many languages. Even the needs of people are also different. and to satisfy needs of all these people, we have to do n number of measures. We have to provide them services. We have to provide them some essential goods. And when we are providing these services, when we are providing these essential goods to the people, even the requirements of all people is not same. लोकांच्या गरजा सारख्या नसतात. ओके, आणि जेव्हा लोकांच्या गरजा सारख्या नसतात आणि आपल्याला त्या लोकांपर्यंत वस्तू सेवा पोहोचवायच्या आहेत, that task has to be undertaken very judiciously, because when we are providing goods and services, then everyone should get the benefit of goods and services in equitable manner. जेव्हा आपण त्यांना गुड्स अँड सर्व्हिसेस देणार आहोत, त्यांना ते इक्विटेबल मिळालं पाहिजे. त्याला पासपोर्ट मिळाला, ही गॉट द पासपोर्ट. इट मीन्स एव्हरीवन हु इज एलिजिबल टू गेट द पासपोर्ट शुड गेट इट. जो पासपोर्ट मिळायला पात्र आहे त्याला तो पासपोर्ट मिळायला पाहिजे. When we are giving passport to every eligible candidate, it is the equitable distribution of passport. The passportचं कुठलं डिस्ट्रीब्युशन झालं? Equitable. That process has to be undertaken very judiciously. ही प्रक्रिया व्यवस्थित पार पाडावी लागते. We cannot discriminate solely on the basis of say ह्याला पासपोर्ट द्यायचा त्याला द्यायचा नाही. That process has to be undertaken by somebody. Okay, and this happens everywhere. हे सगळीकडे घडतं. Okay, take example of COVID. Okay, when you are going school going kids, school going children during COVID times, maybe in your 10th standard, maybe 9th, 10th, or somewhere in COVID times. That was very devastating period of human history in last 100 years. Okay, across the world. सगळ्या जगामध्ये devastating. हा जो कोविडचा पिरियड होता, in the COVID period also, we were supplied with vaccines. We were given essential medicines. Okay, we didn't get vaccine in the very first phase. You kids never get the vaccine in the first phase. तुम्हाला तर पहिल्या फेज मध्ये मिळालीच. तुमच्यापैकी असे पण काही लोक असतील ते अजून वॅक्सिन घेतलेली पण नसेल. ओके, बिकॉज दॅट वॉज द सिच्युएशन when the vaccine was very scarce resource. Vaccine कसा होता? दुर्मिळ रिसोर्स होता, and we wanted to give it to priority areas first. So it was decided to give it to first health line workers who were engaged in medical profession. Doctors, nurses, and all the paramedical staff was given the vaccine at very first place. Okay, ती healthcare workers ना पहिल्यांदा दिली. After healthcare workers, it was given to frontline workers. Who were the frontline workers? Those who were providing support to the medical services, maybe all government officers, maybe police officers, maybe the police personnel. They were given that vaccine. After that, that vaccine was provided to the people who were above 60 years of age, means senior citizens. Thereafter, it was provided to people aged above 45 years and having comorbidities. And then it was rolled out for remaining population. So it was rolled out in phased manner. ती फेज मॅनर मध्ये आपल्याला रोल आउट करावी लागली. ती का महत्वाची होती अशा पद्धतीने रोल आउट करणं? बिकॉज इट वॉज अ स्केअर्स रिसोर्स अँड वी वॉन्टेड टू टेस्ट इट ऑन अ प्रायोरिटी. वी वॉन्टेड टू गिव्ह इट टू प्रायोरिटी एरियाज. प्रायोरिटी एरियाज वाल्यांना ती द्यायची होती. लक्षात ठेवा, जेव्हा ती प्रायोरिटी एरिया वाल्यांना द्यायची होती, दॅट रोल वॉज टू बी परफॉर्म बाय समबडी अँड दॅट रोल वॉज परफॉर्म बाय गव्हर्नमेंट. सो गव्हर्नमेंट इज अ मशिनरी विच इज एंगेज इन ऑल दिस थिंग्स. गव्हर्नमेंट नावाची एक मशिनरी असते, ती ह्या सगळ्या ऍक्टिव्हिटीमध्ये एंगेज करणारी असते. Our life, as I said, it is a complex one. We want so many things. Resources are scarce. आपल्याला खूप गोष्टी हव्या असतात आणि संसाधनं मर्यादित आहेत. So somebody has to be there to distribute those resources equally to all. कोणीतरी असायला पाहिजे जे हे रिसोर्सेस इक्वली सगळ्यांना डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेल. That role is performed by government. तो रोल परफॉर्म कोण करतं? गव्हर्नमेंट करतं. Commonly we call it as सरकार. There is an expectation of people that everything shall be done by government. सगळं कोणी करायला पाहिजे? सरकारने करायला पाहिजे. रस्त्यावरती खड्डा सरकारने करायला पाहिजे. रस्ता कोणी बनवायला पाहिजे? सरकारने बनवायला पाहिजे. वॅक्सिन कोणी द्यायला पाहिजे? सरकारने द्यायला पाहिजे. When there was a shortage of beds in private hospital during COVID times, it was the government who came up with the hospitals, and they constructed, they raised jumbo hospitals. Jumbo hospital man. All private hospitals were having capacity of say few patients, few hundred patients, 50 patients, 100 patients. Only big hospitals had capacity of more than 100 patients, but it was the government hospital which had capacity of almost 1,000 patients. Hardly 5 minutes walking distance from this place where we are sitting right now, there is a ground of College of Engineering Pune. If you are studying there, you might be aware of that. On that ground of College of Engineering Pune, the COVID hospital was raised. It was called as COVID Jumbo Hospital, and it was almost serving 800-900 patients simultaneously. That was the biggest hospital. That was a temporary arrangement. After pandemic abated, the hospital was taken down. Okay, but it was government who came up with that idea, and we were literally waiting for government to provide all these services. Okay, मग गव्हर्नमेंटचं आपल्या आयुष्यातलं किती महत्व ते बघू शकतो. हे गव्हर्नमेंट आपल्याला काय करतं? it provides us commodities, that is goods, it provides us services. But while providing these goods and services, the distribution shall take place equally. And that role is done by organization called as government. And practically that role is played by bureaucracy. तो रोल कोणामार्फत प्ले केला जातो? ब्युरोक्रॉसी मार्फत प्ले केला जातो. I'll give two examples. Okay. मी तुम्हाला दोन उदाहरण देतो. You will understand what was the importance of government. I gave example of COVID times. COVID महत्वाचं आहेच आहे. Do you remember government asked us to follow COVID appropriate behavior? तुम्हाला हे आठवतं का? गव्हर्नमेंटने आपल्याला कोविड अप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर करायला सांगितलं होतं. व्हॉट वॉज कोविड अप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर? प्लीज वेअर मास्क, मास्किंग करा, कीप सोशल डिस्टन्सिंग, एकमेकांपासून अंतर ठेवा, अँड यूज सॅनिटायझर्स और रादर यूज गो फॉर फ्रिक्वेंट हँड वॉशिंग. तुमचे हात नेहमी धुवत राहा. राईट? वेन यू आर आउटसाइड and there is no provision of water and soap, we were instructed to use sanitizers, right? In the month of March, when COVID was spreading across the globe and government came up with this advisory, all the sanitizers were finished from market. Market मध्ये सगळे sanitizers संपले. ठीक आहे? Because we bought all sanitizers. आणि आपल्याकडे असे काही लोक असतात ना ज्यांना सगळ्या गोष्टींची चावल आधीच लागलेली असते. ते स्टॉक पाहिजे, त्यांनी स्टोर करून ठेवलं घरामध्ये, 4 बॉटल आणून ठेवले. त्याच्यामुळे काय झालं? There were people who didn't get sanitizers. After that, what happened? Even government asked all public places to keep sanitizers outside their offices, outside their premises, so that people while entering into the building will use the sanitizers. Have you ever seen the blue bottles placed outside the public places? Maybe your coaching institutes, maybe schools, maybe colleges, maybe malls, right? Can you imagine what was the requirement or how much was the requirement of that sanitizer? And the sanitizer industry was not able to provide those sanitizers to the people because demand was huge. Supply was very limited because before that, we were not habitual with using sanitizers. आपल्याला सॅनिटायझर वापरायची सवयच नव्हती. आपल्याला ती सवय नव्हती. आपल्याला ती सवय नव्हती म्हणून काय झालं? सप्लाय शॉर्ट होतं. But one government officer came up with idea. A government officer आहे, त्यांनी एक आयडिया दिली गव्हर्नमेंट. What was the idea? He said, we have so many sugarcane factories in Maharashtra. आपल्याकडे खूप सारे sugarcane factories आहेत. So what can we do? We can ask sugarcane factories to produce sanitizers because they have raw material required for the sanitizer making. त्यांच्याकडे sanitizer बनवण्यासाठीचं raw material आहे. Idea worked. All sugar factories were instructed to prepare sanitizers. त्यांनी sanitizer बनवले. And wherever you saw those sanitizers outside the public places. Maybe while for personal use, you might have used gel-based sanitizers, right? But those were water-based sanitizers kept outside those public places. So there was a demand of sanitizers, and that was bridged by all sugarcane factories by providing sanitizers. That idea emerged in the mind of one government. So by single decision, he could tackle the situation, and it helped people like us to came out of that situation. Right, हे सगळं तुम्ही कुठं करू शकता? When you are part of government services. Okay, let me give another example. Did you travel during COVID times? COVID काळामध्ये प्रवास केलाय का? Maybe for emergency purposes. In the first few months of COVID waves, केला का? Maybe you were stuck somewhere. कुठे अडकला असेल तुम्हाला प्रवास करावा लागला. There was a provision of pass. माहिती तुम्हाला? Maybe your parents knew about the passes. What was the provision of passes? Government asked, when you want to travel from one place to other place, in the first few months, I'm saying, you can go for only emergency reasons. Okay, tourism wasn't allowed. And when you are traveling from one place to other place, government asked us to get the pass from it. They म्हटले की pass ला apply करायचं. You apply the pass. Okay, you fill all your details. Pass will be issued while switching a district. While passing from one district to other district, there were चेकपोस्ट लावले गेले होते आणि ते तुम्हाला विचारायचं तुमच्याकडे पास आहे का? डू यू हॅव पास? इफ फॅमिलीज हॅड पास, दे वर अलाउड टू पास द चेकपोस्ट. नो पास, गो होम, परत जा. ओके, that was a mechanism. It was developed by one of the IPS officer. He came up with the idea. How can we track the people who traveled from one place to other place? Because in the initial days of COVID, testing, track, test, isolate. That was the strategy. For that purpose, the required information of people. हे कोण करू शकलं? इट वॉज आयडिया ऑफ अनदर गव्हर्नमेंट ऑफिसर विच हेल्प अस अ लॉट टू ट्रॅक द पीपल इन द इनिशियल फेज. इनिशियल फेज मध्ये लोकांना ट्रॅक करता आलं बिकॉज वाईल सबमिटिंग details, you have to submit your mobile number for the OTP purpose. Your mobile location can be tracked if you are moving at different places. It was easy to track the people during that time. Okay, who could do that? It was the idea of government office. This is the beauty of government services. You can take a decision which can help to great number of people at same point of time. Okay, I'm not going to say these people did great work. ह्या लोकांनी ते फार महान काम केलं असं नाही. But during that situation, to came up with idea like this, which could help people to a great extent, that was extraordinary. That was the thing we must acknowledge. त्या गोष्टीचं आपल्याला कौतुक करावं लागेल की अशा परिस्थितीमध्ये अशी कुठली आयडिया येते ते आपलं जीवन थोडंसं हलकं सोपं बनवते. आणि अशा खूप साऱ्या सिच्युएशन्स मध्ये गव्हर्नमेंटला जावं लागतं. आणि हे सगळं काम खरं तर कोण करतं? दिस एंटायर वर्क इज डन बाय ब्युरोक्रेसी. मराठीमध्ये आपण त्याला नोकरशाही काय म्हणतो? नोकरशाही. दिस एंटायर वर्क इज डन बाय ब्युरोक्रेसी. So when you are planning to prepare for the civil services, you are going to become part of this bureaucracy. तुम्ही त्या ब्युरोक्रेसीचे प्रकार भाग होणार आहात. मग त्याला सिव्हिल सर्व्हिसेस का म्हटलं? सी इट इज अ सर्व्हिस. यू हैव टू सर्व द पीपल. किसको सर्व करना है आपको? लोगों को सर्व करना है. यू हैव टू सर्व द पीपल इन योर सिविल कैपेसिटी. यू आर नॉट वेयरिंग एनी यूनिफॉर्म. यू आर नॉट कैरिंग एनी वेपन्स. Okay, if you see the police, if you see the military, they are wearing uniforms, carrying weapons. Okay, but these officers who work in a bureaucracy, they are not wearing any uniforms in traditional sense. Uniform म्हणजे की आपल्याला कोणच आठवतात? पोलीस आणि मिलिटरी एवढेच आठवतात. ओके, तुम्ही म्हणा सर आमचा पण कॉलेज युनिफॉर्म आहे. वी आर नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट दॅट. दे आर कॅरिंग सम वेपन्स फॉर डिटरन्स पर्पजेस. Okay, apart from these things, the bureaucracy in which you are going to enter is a civil service. It is going to serve the people in civil capacity. ते कुठल्या कॅपॅसिटी मध्ये लोकांना सर्व करणार आहे? सिव्हिल कॅपॅसिटी मध्ये सर्व करणार आहे. And in a country like India, which is highly populous country, there the importance of government cannot be underestimated. इथे सरकारचं महत्व आपण अंडरएस्टिमेट करू शकत नाही. Why can't we underestimate the importance of government? Because for every purposes we look at the government. आपल्याला प्रत्येक गोष्टीसाठी कोणाकडे बघावं लागतं? गव्हर्नमेंटकडे बघावं लागतं. Okay, when we are looking for the schools, we generally look for the government schools. Okay, if not government schools, while taking admission to the colleges, you must have definitely thought of government schools, government colleges, not school. Government colleges विचार केला असेल ना? कोविड आला. To whom we were looking? Government. Who asked us to stay in house? Government. You all people who are sitting in my classroom right now, you all are beneficiaries of दो बूंद जिंदगी के. पोलिओ रविवार, पोलिओ संडे तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना मिळाले मला माहिती. You may not remember it, but I remember it. Because that was a mission mode project. Even we are conducting it today. Because government is making sure that nobody is get infected with the polio. कोणाला पोलिओ होणार नाही. तुम्हाला माहिती आहे का? We did achieve an excellent track record in vaccination of COVID. It is bound to be achieved by India because of its population. ते होणारच होतं ना. आपली लोकच एवढी आहेत की सगळ्या लोकांना 2-2 डोस द्यायचे. Last few months away before we crossed 175 crore vaccine doses. ते होणारच होतं. आपली पॉप्युलेशन तेवढी आहे. पण आपल्याकडे जे झालं ना, का झालं ते? Why we became successful in vaccinating so many people of so much amount of people in India? Because we had an experience of polio. आपल्याला पोलिओचा एक्सपिरियन्स होता. Whenever you have seen the polio volunteers, they were carrying the box, that was ice box, in which the vaccine was kept. दिसलं बाळ उघडतोंड टाक 2-3. कुठं पण झालं. From airport to railway station, from home to schools, everywhere these people were there on Sundays. दिसलं बाळ उघडतोंड टाक 2-3. Thanks to these people, because of which we became almost polio free. Okay, there are sporadic incidences, but we are still tackling it. आपण ते करत आहोत. Credit goes to government, because of which we were successful in tackling COVID vaccination challenge. Why? Because we had experience. जगातल्या कुठल्या देशाला एवढा मोठा एक्सपिरियन्स नाही. This all things are designed by government through bureaucracy. हे सगळं कोण डिझाईन करतं? ब्युरोक्रेसी करतं. So when you are planning to become part of civil services, you are going to enter into that bureaucracy. And in country like India, as I said, there is importance of government because we are huge, highly populous country, and there are so many challenges, starting from poverty, hunger to global economic issues. आपल्याकडे आव्हानांची जंत्री आहे ना ती प्रचंड मोठी आहे. आपल्याला गरिबीचा सामना करावा लागतो, आपल्याला भुकेचा सामना करावा लागतो, आपल्याला देश म्हणून या समस्यांचा सामना करायचा आहे. तिथपासून आपण कुठपर्यंत जातो? जागतिक आर्थिक प्रश्नापर्यंत जातो. सो आपल्या प्रश्नांची रेंज जी आहे ना ती खूप मोठी आहे. वी गॉट सो मेनी बिग कॉम्प्लेक्स इश्यूज. हे सगळे बिग कॉम्प्लेक्स इश्यूज आपल्याला आहे. आणि जेव्हा हे सगळे बिग कॉम्प्लेक्स इश्यूज असतात त्याचा आपल्याला काय करावा लागतो? सामना करावा लागतो. यू हॅव टू डू दॅट. हे सगळं कोण करतं? हु हेल्प्स टू डू दॅट? इट इज द ब्युरोक्रेसी, इट इज द सिव्हिल सर्व्हिस, इट इज डुइंग. लक्षात आलं? सो वेन यू आर गोइंग टू बिकम पार्ट ऑफ दिस सर्व्हिसेस, यू आर गोइंग टू डू अ ग्रेट वर्क फॉर द कॉमन पीपल. ठीक आहे. मग तुम्हाला सर असं काही फार वेगळे का त्याच्यामध्ये? सी, डुइंग वर्क फॉर द पीपल itself is an achievement because it gives a satisfaction. You may have your own set of reasons why do you want to become civil servant. हा प्रश्न तुम्ही स्वतःला विचारायला पाहिजे की तुम्हाला का व्हावं असं वाटतं. You may not have idea. You may not get concrete idea by the end of this class. तुम्हाला हे लेक्चर संपूर्ण करायची त्याची आयडिया येईल असं नाही. But you shall keep thinking about whether you become part of civil services or not. You may have own set of reasons. Some parents are government servants. They want you to become government officers. Starting from that, you may have some personal experiences because of which you want to become part of these government services. There can be n number of reasons. Okay, some people also think government services are very stable services, steer services. You get into government services, nobody will remove you from the service easily. तुम्हाला कोणी easily काढू शकत नाही. Government servant can also be dismissed from the services, but not easily. एवढं easily नाही. In private sector, you know what happens. They keep you on bench. They म्हणतात 45 days you will be sitting on bench. Project comes, you work, otherwise you go home. थांबवलंय. They have their own set of mechanisms. Government services तसं नसतं. Some people also think about that. That for the stability they want to become government servant. Some people feel if you become government service, you get the prestige in society. तुम्हाला समाजामध्ये प्रतिष्ठा मिळू शकते. प्रत्येकाचा सेट ऑफ रिझन्स कसा आहे? वेगळा आहे. Everybody has got different set of reasons. You need to find out where do you belong. तुम्हाला हे शोधावं लागेल की तुम्ही नक्की कुठे आहात. When you find out where do you belong, that will be very easy for us to achieve your target of becoming civil servant or your destination of becoming civil servant. लक्षात आलं? तर ह्याचा तुम्हाला विचार करावा लागेल. आय एम नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग यू टू डू बाय एंड ऑफ दिस क्लास. हे लेक्चर संपोपर्यंत तुम्ही त्याचा विचार केला पाहिजे असं नाही. पण ही प्रोसेस जर तुम्ही कंटिन्युअसली करत राहिला, इट विल मोटिवेट यू फ्रॉम इनसाइड. डोंट गेट मोटिवेटेड फ्रॉम आउटसाइड. आउटसाइड मोटिवेशन फार कामाचं नाही. इट हेल्प्स बट टू सम एक्सटेंट. त्याची मदत होते पण काही अंशी मदत. इट इज नॉट फ्रॉम, इफ इट इज नॉट फ्रॉम इनसाइड देन यू नो देयर आर लिमिटेशन्स ऑफ बिकमिंग सिव्हिल सर्व्हिस. मग ह्या ज्या सिव्हिल सर्व्हिसेस असतात ह्या बेसिकली 4 पार्टमध्ये क्लासिफाय केल्या जातात. वी क्लासिफाय दिस सिव्हिल सर्व्हिसेस इनटू हाऊ मेनी पार्ट्स? इन 4 पार्ट्स. त्या कोणत्या मी तुम्हाला ब्रीफली सांगतो आणि देन वी गो टू आवर नेक्स्ट डिस्कशन. ओके, कळते तुम्हाला? डू यू गेट? आर यू गेटिंग मी? लक्षात येते? इज स्पीड फाईन? कळतंय? लँग्वेज कळते ना माझी? ओके, फार काही वेगळे प्रोनाउन्सिएशन नाही आहेत ना? नाहीच आहेत तरी पण मी विचारण्याचं काम करतो. ठीक आहे. ओके, so just for understanding purpose, let's see what are different types of services. We are living in a country called as India, which is also a Bharat. जो भारत पण आहे. And there are 2 governments. 2 government आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये. Actually there are 3 governments. One at center. एक सेंटर मध्ये आहे. Another one is at state. And we also got local government. किती गव्हर्नमेंट आपल्याकडे? 3 गव्हर्नमेंट. Each government has its own bureaucracy. प्रत्येक सरकारची bureaucracy. There is a bureaucracy of center. There is a bureaucracy of state. There is a bureaucracy of local government also. At the present, we are not interested in the bureaucracy at local level. It is equally important. Equally important आहे, but at present we are not going to discuss about that. We may discuss about it sometime later. त्याच्याविषयी आपण कधीतरी नंतर बोलू शकतो. Now there is a bureaucracy of how many people, how many level, at how many level? Center and state. Center and state वरती ती bureaucracy आपल्याला दिसते. We see bureaucracy at center and state. Right? Now when we see bureaucracy center and state, the bureaucracy at this level generally classified into group A services, group A, group B, group C and group D. Have you heard of this? I'm government servant of class 1, class 2. Have you heard of this? ऐकलं तुम्ही? क्लास 1 ऑफिसर. आपण म्हणतो ना, आपण म्हणजे बाकीची लोक म्हणतात. ओके, दिस क्लास 1 ऑफिस आर नथिंग बट ग्रुप ए सर्व्हिसेस. ग्रुप बी सर्व्हिसेस, ग्रुप बी, ग्रुप सी, असे ते 4 पार्ट पडते. The people who get into group C and D services, these are non-gadgeted services. These are what kind of services? Non-gadgeted services. Do you see that? Non-gadgeted services, right? Group A and B, these are gadgeted services. A group A and B का है? Gadgeted. Okay. Gadgeted means their name is published in Gazette. Okay. If you start from D to A, अगर हम D से A तक जाते हैं, then your privileges, your powers, your salary and jurisdiction will go on increase. खालून वरती जातात तसं तुम्हाला मिळणाऱ्या सगळ्या गोष्टी काय होत जातात? वाढत जातात. You get good salary, you get many powers, you also get a jurisdiction big enough to handle it when you go from D to A. Okay, group C and D called as non-gazetted services. A and B are gazetted. Again, we are not going to talk about non-gazetted right now. We are going to talk only about gazetted A and B. Now, why are we going to talk about gazetted A and B? Because these civil servants working in group A and B are recruited by public service commissions. कशाद्वारे recruit केले जातात? Recruited by public service commissions, and we have got 2 public service commissions. अशा आपल्या किती public service commissions आहेत? 2 आहेत. One is UPSC, another one is SPSC. We call it as a MPSC in Maharashtra. त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो? MPSC. See, there are 4 types of services. Group A, B, C, and D. C and D called as non-gazetted. A and B called as gazetted. A and B काय आहेत? Gazetted आहे. Right? आता A आणि B चे gazetted आहेत. C and D हे non-gazetted आहे. A and B ची रिक्रुटमेंट कोण करतं? Who does recruitment for A and B? It is PSC, Public Service Commissions. How many Public Service Commissions we have? 2, UPSC and SPSC. Again, I'm not going to talk about SPSC today. याच्याविषयी आज बोलणार नाही. SPSC also does recruitment of Group A and B, but it does it for state. ती state साठी करते. As the name itself indicate, Maharashtra Public Service Commission, Gujarat Public Service Commission, Uttar Pradesh Public Service Commission. So they are doing recruitment for their respective state. Okay, but we are going to discuss about UPSC. Okay, what is UPSC? UPSC is a Union Public Service Commission. What is the job of UPSC? UPSC's main job is recruitment of different civil services, a different civil servant for government of India. The government साठी वेगवेगळ्या civil services, वेगवेगळे civil servant recruit करतात. It has got only one function throughout the year. त्याला एकच फंक्शन आहे throughout the year. काय? To conduct recruitment through examinations. वर्षभर फक्त एकच काम करायचं. काय करायचं? परीक्षा घ्यायची. How many examinations are conducted by UPSC in a year? So many. It conducts many examinations throughout the year. बहुत सारे examinations को conduct करती. We are not interested in many examinations. We are only interested in one examination. आपण आज ज्याची चर्चा करणार आहोत ती एकच examination. What is that examination? That examination is a CS, Civil Services Examination. ही examination कुठली आहे? Civil Services Examination. UPSC conducts so many examination throughout the year. खूप परीक्षा घेते. त्यातल्या सगळ्या परीक्षा तुम्ही देऊ शकता का? You may or may not. Depending upon your graduation, तुम्हाला त्या देता पण येतील किंवा नाही पण. ओके, पण आपला आजचा चर्चेचा विषय कुठला आहे? CSE. येते लक्षात? So we started with A, B, C, D. We are focusing on A and B. For A and B, recruitment is conducted by PSC. कौन conduct करता? PSC करता. In case of PSC, there are again 2 types. कौन से? UPSC and SPSC. UPSC and SPSC. Right? UPSC conducts so many examinations. खूप सारे examinations घेते. तिथले आपल्याला इंटरेस्टेड कुठली examination आहे? It is CS. ती कुठली आहे? CSE आहे. That examination is Civil Services Examination. Now, why are we concerned more about Civil Service Examination? Because that is the examination which can offer you to go into any of the 22 services. Any of the 22 services. I'm going to show the list of 22 services. त्याची तुम्हाला लिस्ट दाखवतो. त्यातल्या कुठल्याही सर्व्हिसेस वरती तुम्हाला जायचं असेल So you appear one examination, you will get chance to go into any of this 22 services right now. Number is little bit fluctuating. पण तुम्हाला एकच परीक्षा द्यायची, you get opportunity to go in different services. There is no examination in India which is similar to this. One examination, so many services. Okay, it is equally true that you can't go into multiple services at same point of time. सगळीकडे तुम्ही same point of time ला जाता असं नाही. At a time, only one service. Okay, and what is the another beauty of this examination? त्याची अजून एक वेगळी beauty काय आहे? This examination can be attempted by any graduate. Examination कोण attempt करते माहिती का? It is attempted by any graduate. Okay, UPSC conducts so many examinations, I told you. But in conducting those examinations or while appearing those examinations, जेव्हा त्यांना ते examination appear करायचं आहे, काय करावं लागतं? You may have to become eligible for unless you are graduate in certain discipline, you can't appear this examination. For example, combined medical services, you have to be doctor first, then only you can appear that examination. This is not the case in civil service examination. Why? Any graduate can appear the examination. And this is the beauty of this examination. He examination is beauty. Okay, one examination, different services, and who can appear that? Any graduate can appear. And because of this, this examination is quietly popular across the India. Examination ला खूप सारे विद्यार्थी appear होताना आपल्याला दिसतात. का? तर याच्यामुळे दिसतात. Okay, and when you get selected through this examination, you will get chance to go in any of the services. Of course, everybody loves to become IAS, IPS. सगळ्यांना IAS, IPS व्हायचं असेल. Okay, other services are equally good. बाकीचे services पण equally चांगल्या आहेत. That's your personal choice. तो तुमचा personal choice. You go into any service. तुम्ही कुठल्याही सर्व्हिस मध्ये गेलात, you are going to serve the people. तुम्ही लोकांना सर्व करणार आहात. But the only thing is you will be serving in different capacities. तुम्ही वेगळ्या कॅपॅसिटी मध्ये सर्व करता. लक्षात आलं? तुम्ही इतर परीक्षा दिल्यात, when we appear other examinations, you get chance to go into one department, one government service. Here also you go into one, but there are ample choices out of which you can choose anyone. Okay, most of the aspirants they choose IAS, IPS, IFS, but equal other services are equally important. Recently, last fortnight, we started a new series in the academy. That series is called as Know the Services series. Okay, Know the Services नावाची एक series आम्ही सुरू केली. Okay, that is also live on YouTube. That was also live on YouTube on that day. Okay, what was in that service? In the first, on the first segment, we introduced all aspirant to Indian Railway Management Service. Okay, त्याची सगळ्यांना ओळख करून देण्यात आली. In last week, there was another session conducted for Indian Revenue Service, Customs and Indirect Taxes. त्याची ओळख करून देण्यात आली. So through Know the Services series, we are letting you all the aspirant about different services and what is their job profile, what are the functions performed by these people. Okay, if you are any of the social media handle of academy, you will get notification for subsequent service. You can also attend that session knowing different services. Okay, and this is only possible because of the civil services examination. Okay, there are different services. I'm going to share the list of those services with all you people. लक्षात ठेवा की civil service examination त्याची लिस्ट मी तुम्हाला आता दाखवतो. Okay, so guys, we started our discussion from whether you know about any government or any government office. Okay, and whenever you had opportunity to go and visit government office, it was solely for your purpose. You didn't went there for, or you didn't go there for different people. You went there for your own benefit. तुम्ही स्वतःच्या फायद्यासाठी गेलात. You wanted some document, you wanted some service, you may wanted some good or commodity, and that was supplied to you by government. Government is a huge machinery. Government एक मोठी machinery आहे. म्हणजे government ह्याच्यातली मोठी machinery आहे, which is serving the needs of common people. ती लोकांच्या गरजा पूर्ण करण्याचं काम करते. I also shared you two examples wherein a simple decision of government officers could help people to sail through the COVID pandemic. Okay, that was one such a decision, but it could help at that moment. त्याची आपल्याला फार मदत झाली. There are such a very unheard stories about a role played by government servant, which may not come into light every time. तर सगळ्या समोर येतील असं नाही, but their role cannot be underestimated. Because common people were sitting in home during COVID times. Only machinery working on field was government officers and government servants. Okay, their role will be remembered forever. And not in this present pandemic. In every pandemic, we cannot underestimate their role. त्याचा महत्व आपल्याला कमी करता येणार नाही. All these government offices can be classified into 4 types: A, B, C, D. C and D, non-gazetted; A and B, gazetted. This can be again further explained. If you have any query, we can talk about that later on. A and B are recruited by public service commissions. How many public service commissions we got? 2. One is UPSC, another one is SPSC. We are not going to talk about SPSC. Our intention today is talk about UPSC. And UPSC conduct so many examinations. But we are going to talk about only one examination. Why one examination? Because any graduate can appear. Right now, you are pursuing different graduation courses. I know. We every graduation courses pursue. Correct. When you are pursuing different graduation courses, all are equally eligible to appear this examination. Sagli eligible. There are different examinations. You may not be eligible for all the examinations. This examination, you are eligible. या परीक्षेला मात्र तुम्ही कशा आहात? इलिजिबल. लक्षात घ्या. आणि म्हणून ही सगळी परीक्षा मोस्ट सॉट आफ्टर आहे. म्हणजे खूप सारे ऍस्पिरंट ही परीक्षा आपल्याला देताना दिसते. लक्षात घ्या. कळाले की एक्झामिनेशन आहे. मग जेव्हा हे एक्झामिनेशन होते तर त्याचे थोडे ब्रीफ आस्पेक्ट आपल्याला माहिती असायला पाहिजे. ओके. मग तुम्हाला असा प्रश्न पडला असेल की म्हणजे वाय वी शुड स्टार्ट प्रिपेअरिंग फॉर दिस एक्झामिनेशन द व्हेरी फर्स्ट फेज. आताच का करायला पाहिजे? ओके. ऍज आय सेड, वी आर नॉट आस्किंग यू टू प्रिपेअर फॉर द एक्झामिनेशन. आम्ही तुम्हाला म्हणत नाही तुम्ही एक्झामिनेशनची तयारी करा. वेन यू मेकअप युअर माइंड दॅट यू वॉन्ट टू बिकम सिव्हिल सर्व्हंट, देन वी लेट यू नो हाऊ टू डू दॅट. जेव्हा तुम्ही तुमचं माइंड बनवते की आम्हाला सिव्हिल सर्व्हंट व्हायचं आहे, तेव्हा आम्ही तुम्हाला सांगतो की तुम्ही ते कसं करायला पाहिजे. लक्षात. आणि जेव्हा तुम्हाला ते कसं करायला पाहिजे हे जेव्हा आपण सांगतो त्यावेळेस थोडी आमची अशी अपेक्षा आहे की वेन यू स्टार्ट अर्ली, इट मे गिव्ह यू एज. तुम्ही जर आधी सुरुवात केली तर तुम्हाला त्याच्यामध्ये एज मिळू शकेल. ओके. आणि आधी सुरू करायचं म्हणजे आता लेक्चर सुटल्यानं जाऊन पुस्तक वाचायचं असं असतं नाही. इट डझंट मीन यू शुड गो अँड स्टार्ट रीडिंग बुक्स इमिजिएटली. असं नाही. टू पास दिस एक्झामिनेशन यू रिक्वायर अ स्किल सेट. एक्झामिनेशन तुम्हाला जर पास करायचे असेल ना, तुम्हाला एक स्किल सेट असणं आवश्यक आहे. जर तुमच्याकडे तो स्किल सेट असेल तर तुम्ही एक्झामिनेशन पास होऊ शकता. लॅक्स ऑफ ऍस्पिरंट अपियर दिस एक्झामिनेशन एव्हरी इयर. दरवर्षी खूप लोक ह्या परीक्षेला बसतात, पण पास होणारे खूप कमी आहेत ना. पास होणारे खूप कमी. वी शॅल टेक इट ॲज अ फॅक्ट. आपण ते फॅक्ट म्हणून लक्षात घ्यायला पाहिजे. वी डोंट वॉन्ट टू थिंक अबाउट दोज हु आर नॉट क्वालिफाईंग दिस एक्झामिनेशन. वी शॅल थिंक अबाउट वेदर वी क्वालिफाय दिस एक्झामिनेशन ऑर नॉट. ही परीक्षा आपण पास करणार आहे की नाही एवढाच आपण विचार करायला पाहिजे. बिकॉज एनिवे यू डोंट वॉन्ट टू बी बिकम into the list of people who couldn't clear it. Ultimately, you have to be in the list of people who cleared it. त्याला काय लागतं? You require skill set. So skill set काय असू शकतो? In various webinars, we have talked about different skill set, but basically I'm going to talk about 3-4 important skills. Okay, this is just an examination like other examination. आपल्या जे इतर परीक्षा असतात ना त्याच्यासारखीच एक परीक्षा. But being all India competition, we may find it a little bit difficult. आपल्याला ती थोडीशी अवघड वाटू शकते. Because of the competition. You have competed in schools. That was a limited competition of school. You are competing in college right now. That is again limited competition in college. When you do so at all India level, aspirants from different parts of India are going to compete this examination. Okay. So we have to be very sharp while tackling this examination. तुम्हाला थोडं शार्प हवं. And to become sharp, you should possess that skill set. तुमच्याकडे तो स्किल सेट असायला पाहिजे. सो मी जे तुम्हाला म्हणतो, तुम्ही आधीपासून तयारी करायची म्हणजे काय करायचं? When you want to prepare for this examination from beginning itself, you have to sharpen the skill set. तुम्हाला तो स्किल सेट शार्पन करायचा आहे. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, we need to find out whether do you have skills or not. आपल्याला शोधावं लागेल तुमच्याकडे ते स्किल्स आहेत का नाही. जर तुमच्याकडे असतील तर शार्प करावे लागतील. You have the skills, then we have to sharpen it. If you don't have the skills, then we have to inculcate those skills. आपल्याकडे स्किल्स नसतील तर आपल्यामध्ये आणावे लागतील. आपल्याला प्रयत्न करावा लागेल. आणि जेव्हा आपण प्रयत्न करतो, you are sailing through the journey of preparation along with your graduation studies. Ultimately, after completing graduation, you come to know this is not my cup of tea. हे तुम्हाला जमणार नाही. I would say still that is the achievement of these 3 years preparation, that you came to know or you come to know that you are not going to crack this examination. You are not meant for that. You can do some other things. तुम्ही इतर पण गोष्टी करू शकता. So this examination helps you to understand who are you. Examination तुम्हाला तुम्ही कोण आहात ह्याची फार चांगल्या पद्धतीने ओळख करून देते, बिकॉज द प्रोसेस इज सो रिगरस, स्पॅनिंग अक्रॉस द इयर. एक वर्षभर चालणारी प्रक्रिया आहे आणि ती वर्षभर चालणारी प्रक्रिया असल्यामुळे काय होतं, ती प्रक्रिया जेव्हा वर्षभर चालते तेव्हा काय होतं, तेव्हा आपल्याला त्यातल्या बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी कळतात. वी अंडरस्टँड सो मेनी थिंग्स. तर आपल्याला ह्यातल्या बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी कळताना दिसतात. आपल्याला जेव्हा ह्यातल्या बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी कळताना दिसतात, इट हेल्प्स अस अ लॉट. त्याची आपल्याला खूप मोठ्या प्रमाणावरती मदत होते. कळलं? सो दिस इज द ब्युटी ऑफ दिस एक्झामिनेशन. आणि तुम्हाला तो स्किल सेट शार्पन करायचा आहे. मग स्किल सेट मध्ये कुठला मुद्दा आहे? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, यू शॅल बी एबल टू रीड. तुम्हाला वाचावं लागेल. तुम्ही म्हणा सर आम्हाला वाचता येतं, वी रीड. आता पण तुम्ही वाचू शकता ना, पण आपल्याला वाचता यायला पाहिजे. म्हणजे काय? वी शॅल एबल टू रीड बिटवीन द लाईन्स. What that exactly statement is saying, what you are reading, what the author is trying to convey about it, or what has happened actually. Okay, you have to think about that. Maybe suppose you are reading history, some incident happened in history. Okay, you read the incidents, then you shall think about the incidents. क्यों हुआ? अगर नहीं होता तो क्या? Imagine the incidents had not happened, then what would have happened? जर झालाच नसतं तर काय झालं असतं? This is the reading. आता तुम्हाला वाचता येतं. आय नो यू हॅव द कमांड ओव्हर द लेटर्स. तुम्हाला वाचता येते. तुम्हाला वाचायचं म्हणजे काय करायचं? यू हॅव टू थिंक लाईक दिस. जेव्हा तुम्ही असा विचार करायला जाता ना, दॅट्स व्हेरी इझी टू क्रॅक दिस एक्झामिनेशन. यू शुड हॅव रिडिंग स्किल्स. लक्षात घ्या. आता रिडिंग कुठल्या लँग्वेज मध्ये करायचं? रिडिंग कुठल्या लँग्वेज मध्ये करायचं? दिस इज द सेकंड स्किल सेट यू शुड हॅव. इट इज अबाउट द प्रोफिशियन्सी इन लँग्वेज. तुम्हाला त्या भाषेवरती थोडंसं प्रभुत्व असायला पाहिजे. कॅन यू अपियर दिस एक्झामिनेशन इन मदर टंग ऑफ मराठी? मराठी मातृभाषेमध्ये परीक्षा देता येते का? देता येते. इट इज अबाउट द रायटिंग इन मराठी. तुम्ही मराठीमध्ये लिहू शकता, बट द क्वेश्चन विल बी इन इंग्लिश. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टँड दॅट क्वेश्चन. प्रश्न आपल्याला समजून घ्यावा लागेल. मग तुम्हाला इंग्रजी यायला पाहिजे का? वेदर यू नीड इंग्लिश टू पास दिस एक्झामिनेशन, यू नीड टू अंडरस्टँड इंग्लिश टू द एक्सटेंट ऑफ अंडरस्टँडिंग क्वेश्चन. जिथेपर्यंत प्रश्न आपल्याला समजण्यासाठी इंग्रजी आवश्यक आहे, तिथेपर्यंत आपल्याला इंग्रजी यायला पाहिजे. ओके, तुम्हाला इंग्रजी बोलता येत नाही, यू आर नॉट एबल टू रीड द इंग्लिश, आय कॅन अंडरस्टँड, दॅट इज परफेक्टली ऑल राईट. तो प्रश्न येत नाही. आपल्याला इंग्रजी वाचता यायला पाहिजे. का वाचायचे? कारण प्रश्न आपला कशामध्ये आहे? इंग्रजीमध्ये. तेवढं इंग्रजी आपल्याला यायला पाहिजे. दॅट इज अबाउट लँग्वेज प्रोफिशियन्सी. एकदा का तुम्हाला इंग्रजी वाचायला आलं, यू मे ट्राय टू राईट इन इंग्लिश, यू मे ट्राय टू स्पीक इन इंग्लिश. दिस रेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स आर लाईक बोनस, चेरी ऑन केक. मिळालं तर ठीक आहे, नाही मिळालं तरी पण ठीक आहे. फक्त वाचायला आलं तेवढ्यावरती आपलं काम भागू शकतं वेन यू आर रायटिंग इन मराठी. ओके, बट वी शुड हॅव सम प्रोफिशियन्सी ओव्हर द इंग्लिश. You are able to read English, you are able to write in English, you are able to speak in English. That is perfectly a good scenario. If not, then at least you should able to read the English. And मग तुम्हाला इंग्लिश वाचायचं असेल, when you start right now, it start from understanding the meaning of word. We call it as a vocabulary. आपण त्याला vocabulary. आपल्याला काय करावं लागेल? vocabulary वाढवावी लागेल. We need to increase vocabulary. लक्षात घ्या, vocabulary वाढवावी लागेल. आणि vocabulary वाढवणे का एका दिवसाचं काम नाही. इट मे टेक मंथ्स टू इनक्रीज द vocabulary, टू एनहान्स इट. महिने लागू शकतात. सो व्हेन वी से यू हॅव टू स्टार्ट अर्ली, वी वॉन्ट टू फोकस ऑन दीज स्किल्स सेट. ह्या स्किल सेटवरती आपल्याला फोकस करावं लागेल. मग तो पहिला रिडिंगचा झाला, दुसरा लँग्वेज वाला, तिसरा आपल्याला लिहिता यायला पाहिजे. हू कॅन पास द एक्झामिनेशन? द वन हू इज एबल टू राईट. तुम्ही परत म्हणाल सर आम्हाला आताच लिहिता येतं, वी आर एबल टू राईट टुडे ऑल्सो. यू आर एबल टू राईट व्हॉट यू नो. तुम्हाला जे माहिती आहे तुम्ही लिहू शकता. तुम्हाला काय लिहायचंय? व्हॉट इज आस्क्ड बाय युपीएससी. युपीएससी जे विचारते ते तुम्हाला लिहायचं आहे. आणि ते लिहिण्याचं कौशल्य कशामध्ये आहे? यू डोंट हॅव एंटायर डे टू राईट इट. पूर्ण दिवस नाही, वी गॉट ओनली 180 मिनिट्स. 3 तासांचा वेळ आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी जे विचारले ते आपल्याला लिहायचं आहे. स्पीड, कंटेंट, प्रेझेंटेशन ह्या सगळ्या ऍस्पेक्टवरती काम करावं लागतं. वी हॅव टू इन्क्रीज द स्पीड, वी हॅव टू प्रेझेंट द कंटेंट, एव्हरीथिंग अबाउट रायटिंग वी हॅव टू इम्प्रोवाइज. सो यू शुड ऑल्सो पजेस स्किल सेट ऑफ रायटिंग. तर तुम्हाला रायटिंग वाला स्किल सेट पण असणं गरजेचं आहे. पहिला स्किल सेट कुठला आहे? रिडिंग वाला आहे. सेकंड स्किल सेट कुठला आहे? लँग्वेज वाला आहे. तिसरा स्किल सेट कुठला आहे? रायटिंग वाला. फर्स्ट रिडिंग, लँग्वेज, तिसरा रायटिंग. फोर्थ वन इज अबाउट पर्सनॅलिटी. तुमच्या पर्सनॅलिटीचा स्किल सेट आहे. व्हॉट आय मीन बाय पर्सनॅलिटी? तुम्ही जसे आहात तसे, दॅट इज युअर पर्सनॅलिटी. ओके, बट वी नो देर मे बी सम इश्यूज असोसिएटेड विथ आवर पर्सनॅलिटी, मे बी सम लॅक्युनर शॉर्टकमिंग्स इन आवर पर्सनॅलिटी. असू शकतात ना. वी मे हॅव सम फिअर. आपल्याला काहीतरी भीती वाटू शकते. वी मे हॅव सम इन्फेरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स. आपला एक इन्फेरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स पण असू शकतो. ओके, वी आर एबल टू टॉक अ लॉट इन होम. घरी खूप बोलते. बट वेन यू आर आस्क्ड टू स्पीक लाईक मी, जेव्हा तुम्हाला असं सांगितलं जातं की माझ्यासारखं बोलाय का पब्लिक फोरमवरती, आर यू एबल टू डू दॅट? नॉट ऑल पीपल आर एबल टू डू दॅट. सगळ्यांना जमेल असं नाही. तुम्हाला असं ह्याची आवश्यकता आहे का तिकडे? आहे ना. कशी आवश्यकता आहे? मे बी इन युअर कॅपॅसिटी यू हॅव टू लीड युअर टीम. तुम्हाला तुमच्या टीमला काय करायचं आहे? लीड करायचं. वेन यू हॅव टू लीड युअर टीम, यू शॅल ऍटलीस्ट एबल टू कन्व्हिन्स युअर टीम. तुम्हाला तुमच्या टीमला काय करावं लागेल? कन्व्हिन्स करावं लागेल. दॅट इज पार्ट ऑफ युअर पर्सनॅलिटी. यू हॅव टू शो युअर लिडरशिप क्वालिटीज. तुम्हाला तुमच्या लिडरशिप क्वालिटीज दाखवाव्या लागतील. लिडरशिप क्वालिटीज मध्ये काय असतं? यू हॅव टू शो अमंग देम दॅट यू आर देअर लीडर. यू आर गोइंग टू लीड द टीम and you have some solutions to a particular problem. You have to show it. You have to enhance the moral of your people. तुमच्या लोकांचं मोरल एनहान्स करावं लागेल. ह्याच्यासाठी आपल्याकडे कुठल्या क्वालिटीज पाहिजे? लिडरशिप क्वालिटीज असायला पाहिजे, विच इज अगेन पार्ट ऑफ युअर पर्सनॅलिटी. ते तुमच्या पर्सनॅलिटीचा पार्ट आहे. सो आपली पर्सनॅलिटी कशी आहे ती आपल्याला मदत करणार आहे का परीक्षेमध्ये? ती करणार आहे. बट वी कॅनॉट मॉडिफाय अवर पर्सनॅलिटी ओव्हरनाईट. एका रात्रीमध्ये पर्सनॅलिटी आपण मॉडिफाय करू शकत नाही. वी कॅनॉट मॉडिफाय पर्सनॅलिटी ओव्हरनाईट. एका रात्रीमध्ये आपल्याला ते करता येणं शक्य नाही. वी मे हॅव टू वर्क अपॉन दॅट. आपल्याला ते वर्क करायला पाहिजे. आणि जेव्हा तुम्हाला 3 वर्षांचा काळ आहे ना कॉलेजचा, आय फील दॅट इज द आयडियल पिरियड ऍज वेल एज प्लेस टू शेप अवर पर्सनॅलिटी. वाय? का तो आयडियल कालावधी काय आहे? यू आर गोइंग कॉलेज गोइंग गाईज. तुम्ही कॉलेजला जाणार आहात, आय बिलीव्ह. जाता ना? त्याचा फायदा होतो. ठीक आहे. कॉलेज जेव्हा तुम्ही जाता, people from different walks of life are coming there. Your friends coming from different societies, different sections of our societies. They have got different personalities. There are some issues. You have to tackle those issues. ह्या सगळ्यात आपल्याला काय होतो? फायदा होतो. We are benefited by that. त्याचा आपल्याला फायदा होतो. And when you understand there are some lacunas in your personality, those can be improvised over period of time. Over period of time तुम्हाला ते improvise करता येईल. कारण का? तुमची पर्सनॅलिटी त्या परीक्षेला म्हणजे त्या पदासाठी सुटेबल आहे की नाही ह्याची टेस्ट व्हायला पाहिजे. वेदर युअर पर्सनॅलिटी सूट्स टू दॅट ऑर नॉट, दॅट हॅज टू बी टेस्टेड. हे तुम्हाला टेस्ट करावं लागेल. ओके. आणि जर तुमच्याकडे त्याची कमतरता असेल तर काय करावं लागेल? इम्प्रूव्ह करावं लागेल. मग तुम्हाला इम्प्रूव्ह करण्यासाठी जो वेळ मिळेल तो तुम्हाला हा वापरता येईल. सो वेन आय से अर्ली बर्ड कॅचेस द प्रे, जेव्हा तुम्ही ह्या गोष्टींची लवकर सुरुवात करता, तुम्हाला ह्या स्किल सेट मध्ये काम करण्यासाठी पुरेसा अवधी मिळतो. यू गेट इनफ टाइम टू वर्क ऑन धिस स्किल सेट. लक्षात, त्याच्यावर तुम्हाला स्किल सेट प्रचंड मोठ्या प्रमाणावरती वापरता येतो, त्याची मदत होते. कळलं? आणि म्हणून मग आपल्याला ह्याची तयारी आधी सुरू करायला पाहिजे. सो अगेन आय मस्ट मेक इट व्हेरी क्लिअर. मी तुम्हाला सांगत नाही की तुम्ही ते करा. वेन यू मेकअप युअर माइंड देन आय एम गोइंग टू लेट यू नो हाऊ टू डू दॅट. मी तुम्हाला नंतर सांगायचं तुम्हाला हे कसं करायचं आहे. बट यू हॅव टू कन्व्हिन्स इन युअर माइंड दॅट यू हॅव टू डू दॅट. तुम्हाला ते करायचं आहे. आणि म्हणून मग आम्ही हा 3 वर्षाचा प्रोग्राम त्यासाठी घेतो. कळलं? आणि दिस इज वी आर नॉट डुईंग दॅट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम ना. मी पहिल्यांदा करतोय असं नाही. गेल्या अनेक वर्षापासून करतोय. आणि वी हॅव कम टू नो येस, नॉट ऑल कॅन्डिडेट्स हॅव सिलेक्टेड. सगळे कॅन्डिडेट सिलेक्ट झालेले नाही. बट नॉट ऑल कॅन्डिडेट्स हॅव अपियर्ड ऑल्सो ना. सगळ्यांनी परीक्षा पण दिली नाही. दे अंडरस्टूड दॅट दिस इज नॉट माय कप ऑफ टी. आय एम स्किपिंग इट. आय एम गोइंग टू फोकस ऑन अदर एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ लाईफ. Very good. There were people who could realize that they are meant for this. They worked hard. They cracked this examination. They are into services. There are some people who also got into state services. So a long list of aspirants who got through different services, different selections. When they start preparing for this examination early. आणि ह्याची स्टार्ट करायची म्हणजे काय करायचं? आता घरी जाऊन पुस्तक वाचायचं नाही. It doesn't mean you should go and start reading the books. You have to work upon your personality. You have to work upon your skill set. While doing so, we are also going to learn few basics about syllabus of this examination. Examination जो syllabus आहे ना त्याच्याविषयी पण आपण थोडंसं बोलणार आहोत. कळलं? म्हणून मग we recommend the college going student when you have make up your mind to approach this examination, then you must make sure you are going to do that since beginning. सुरुवातीपासून तुम्ही ते करणार आहात. It definitely helps to realize your goal and to understand whether you are meant for that or not. आणि असं फार कमी वेळ होता. वी कॅन कॉल इट एज इट इज अ टाइम टेस्टेड मेथड. ती कुठली मेथड आहे? टाइम टेस्टेड मेथड आहे. लक्षात आलं काय मी जे तुम्हाला सांगतो ते? सो नाऊ वी आर गोइंग टू हॅव अ ब्रीफ लुक इन टू द सर्व्हिसेस अँड ऑल अदर एलिजिबिलिटी कंडिशन्स. बट बिफोर दॅट आर देअर एनी क्वेश्चन्स टू मी? मला काही तुम्हाला प्रश्न विचारायचे आहेत का? काही प्रश्न आहेत का बघा? If I cracked UPSC, so can I get directly IS post or another? IS is a service. IS is a service. If you get into merit of that examination and you have put IS as your first preference, you can go into IS. So prashna nahi. Provided you become you selected in a particular merit, particular rank. कळतंय का? मी काय सांगतो कळतंय? दोनच शक्य आहे. तुम्हाला सगळं कळतंय किंवा काहीच कळत नाही. सगळं कळते म्हणून प्रश्न नाहीये. काहीच कळत तेव्हा पण नाही. सो विच शुड बी ए और बी? डोंट से सर ए बी सगळे एकत्रच आहे.
प्रेफरन्स दिले बट ऍज पर मेरिट जर आपण त्याच्यासाठी एलिजिबल नाही बट दुसऱ्या मेरिट दुसऱ्या सर्व्हिसेस साठी एलिजिबल येतात पण आपण ते प्रेफरन्स नाही दिलाय तर
No. See, when you file your main application form, detailed application form for the main examination, we have to put the preferences. When you opt for only one preference and you are not getting it, and you haven't filled other preferences, इतर preferences fill केलेले नाही. तर नाही करता येणार. It's for very sure. Though you are selected, you are into ranks, you won't be allotted service. तुम्हाला service allot होणार नाही because you didn't opt for that. Okay, if you are asking me, can you go again for the examination? Can you reappear for the examination? तुम्हाला examination पर reappear करता येते का? ते करता येऊ शकते. That's not a big deal. You can reappear examination. Examination ला reappear करता येते. How? Provided you have left attempts and age. I'm going to touch to that point. Okay, there's one question from Neha. So now we have to focus on personality development. So like how we can focus on personality development. In different lectures, we talk about how to develop the personality, but basically you need to do your SWOT analysis, your strengths and weaknesses, whether you are good, whether you are weak. That's analysis करावं लागेल. आणि तुम्हाला जे वाटतं की these are lacunas in my personality. Some people are very short tempered. तुम्हाला वाटतं ना तुम्ही short tempered आहात, then you have to remain cool. काही लोकांना पेशन्स नसतात. Some people are not patient at all. You have to develop that ability. As far as the preparation and reading or the study part of examination is concerned, some people cannot sit in a library or in a study table for more than 30 minutes. Lacuna आहे ना, मग तुम्हाला काय करावं लागेल? फोकस करावं. You are able to read the English, but you don't understand at all. इंग्रजी वाचता येते, काहीच समजत नाही. I walk the English, I talk the English, but doesn't understand it. असं व्हायला नको. पर्सनॅलिटीज ऍस्पेक्ट्स आहे. काही लोक असे असू शकतात ते फार बुजरे असतात, लाजरे असतात. They are very shy. When they are asked to do so, they don't do at all. They forward it somebody. दुसऱ्याला म्हणतात नाही तू कर, मी आहे तुझ्या मागे. They always remain मागे. अशा असू शकतात ना. मग तुम्हाला जेव्हा वाटतंय ना, तर तुम्हाला काय करावं लागेल? थोडं इम्प्रोवाइज करावं लागेल. There are some people who are very talkative. इतकं बोलतात ना, they do not allow other people to talk. ते बाकीच्यांना बोलायची संधीच देत. The civil servant shall be very good listener. तो कसा असायला पाहिजे? तो खूप चांगला लिस्नर असायला पाहिजे. What I mean by good listener, you are going to deal with people. तुम्ही लोकांना डील करणार. कोणाला डील करणार? लोकांना. You shall able to understand what people are trying to say. तर तुम्ही त्यांचं ऐकूनच घेतलं नाही, you are not going to bring solution to that. तुम्ही त्याला सोल्युशन आणणार नाही. याच्या लक्षात, you are not going to bring solution to that problem. You have to be very good listener. Likewise, there are so many aspects of our person wherein we have to work out. त्याच्यावरती आपलं काम करावं लागेल. In subsequent classes, we will definitely talk about these aspects of personality development. All right. Now, when we appear this examination, as I said, there are different services. There are different services. You can say this is the list of services. Can you see this? This is the list of services. This is the list of services. So we have got two all India services. आपल्याला किती all India services दिसतात? Two. These are two all India services. IS and IPS. Can you see this? IS and IPS. हे दोन all India services आहे. Okay. These are two all India services and these are group A services. हे कुठले आहेत? Group A services आहे. And how many group A services are there? Till 17 means 14, 15. 15 group A services are there. Two all India services, 15 group A services, and we have got 5 group B services. Total comes to 22 as of now. Numbers may go up down होता रहता है. As of now we have got how many? 20. आपल्याकडे आता 22 आहेत. किती आहेत? 22. First two are all India service, IS and IPS. The collector, DSPs, commissioners, these persons belong to these services. या services belong करतात. Maybe your parents, maybe your relatives, maybe the people you know, they are into IS or IPS. हे असू शकतं. Okay. Then there are group A services. These group A services officers, they serve central government. ते central government ला serve करतात. लक्षात आलं? In different ministries. Indian Foreign Service in Foreign Ministry. Indian Revenue Service. These two revenue service. These are serving in Ministry of Finance. पैसा वाला मामला है. पैसा आना चाहिए ना. Money should come to government. आपल्याकडे पण यायला पाहिजे. गव्हर्नमेंट कडे आला तर आपल्याकडे येणार आहे ना. Okay, so these are dealing with taxation. Do you pay tax? Yes, everybody pays tax. प्रत्येक जण tax भरतो. These are two departments which are engaged in that business of collecting taxes. Then there is account service of Postal Telecom Department. P&T stands for Post and Telephone. These are very old departments in India. The very first department to be started, Post and Telegraph. Okay, these days you may not realize the importance of postman, postwomen, but gone are the days. You just go and ask your parents, तुमच्या काळामध्ये काय होतं? What about the post? Okay, they will let you know about the importance of post. Is post relevant today? Yes, it is still relevant, but they are providing different services, diversified services. Many good and bad news were brought by post personnel in those days. Good news of employment, bad news of death, good news of marriage. त्यांचा फार मोठा रोल आहे. Because of mobile आपल्याला ते कळत नाही. Have you ever written letter to anybody? लिहिले का? नाही लिहिलं ना? तरी ते लिहून बघा. देऊ नका पण लिहून बघा. Okay. घरातल्या घरात. Okay. Audit and account services. Audit and account services. Ordnance factory services. These are different services. This is the postal service. When you get into that service, you will become part of postal service, a department of post. This is civil account service. When you go into railways, railway has huge network in India. So this entire railway network is managed by officers of Indian Railway Management Services. Okay, this is Railway Protection Force equivalent to IPS. IDES, officers posted in cantonment boards. We have got 3 cantonment boards in Pune, Khadki, Dehu Road. The officers of those services are from cantonment boards are from the Indian Defence Sister Services. Okay, Indian Information Service. What is that? Indian Information Service. And there's Indian Trade Service. Indian Trade Service, dealing with the trade, foreign trade, commercial aspect, working in Ministry of Commerce. And there is Indian Corporate Law Service. What is that service? Indian Corporate Law Service. Indian Defence Account Service. These are different services. I'm just reading these services. We have started a new series of Know the Services. Okay, if you subscribe to the any social media handle, you will get a notification about that. You can definitely attend those services and related information. Okay, त्याची एक सर्व्हिसची series आम्ही सुरू केलेली आहे की तुम्हाला वेगवेगळ्या सर्व्हिसेसची माहिती देते. These are some group B services. Okay, you pass the examination, you may get into these group B services. Delhi, Andaman, Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Daman, Diu. These are union territories. So we will be posted in UTs, union territories. They have got police service as well as civil service. Police and civil service. Pondicherry Police Service, Pondicherry Civil Service. Recently, name of Pondicherry has been changed to Paduka. So it's Paducherry Police Service, Paducherry Civil Service. Okay, so all UTs are manned by these officers selected from this examination. So likewise, there are how many services here? 22 services. These services आपल्याकडे आहे 22 services are. All right, and to get into any of the services given here, you have to appear this civil services examination. This civil service examination आपल्याला द्यायची आहे. So let's try to understand what is the eligibility criteria. What is the eligibility criteria? Any Indian citizen can apply for the examination. This is but sure. Who can appear? Only Indian citizen can appear. No foreigners are allowed. Because if they appear, they may not pass. And even if they pass, they may not work very well in India. So only Indian citizens can apply. What is the age limit? Age limit. The minimum age limit is 21 years. कम से कम आपको कितने साल पूरे होने जरूरी है? 21 साल, 21 years. Maximum is 32 years. Maximum is 32. 21 to 32. Okay, and age relaxation is given to different categories: OBCs, SCs, and STs. Okay, but the minimum age is 21 years. Minimum age किती आहे? 21 वर्ष आहे. लक्षात आलं? Now, what is the educational qualification? Educational qualification काय आहे? Degree of any recognized university. You shall be graduate from recognized university. Don't say, sir, I am graduate and I have a university in my home. गरजेचं आहे. ओके, ती पण चालेल, प्रोव्हाइड इट इज रेकग्नाइज. आपल्याला ती कशी पाहिजे? रेकग्नाइज पाहिजे. कळलं? ती कशी पाहिजे? रेकग्नाइज पाहिजे. दिस इज मिनिमम क्वालिफिकेशन. हे कुठलं आहे? मिनिमम आहे. कॅन पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएट अपियर? येस, बिकॉज दे आर ग्रॅज्युएट. ओके, फ्रॉम एनी डिसिप्लिन, डॉक्टर्स, इंजिनियर्स एंड एवरीबडी कैन अपियर दिस एग्जामिनेशन. ठीक है. नाउ व्हाट अबाउट द फिजिकल क्वालिफिकेशन? Okay, you have to fulfill certain medical standard. Medical standard fulfill करावे लागतात. 99% candidate fulfill the medical standard. That's not a big deal. Okay, there is a limit on attempts. How many times you can appear this examination? The candidates of general category, they appear examination for 6 times. 6 times or 32 years, whichever is earlier. At the age of 30, you exhausted all 6 attempts. Though 2 years are left, you can't appear the examination. Okay, and at the age of 33 years, you are attempted only 5 times. 1 attempt is left. You can't appear the examination because you crossed the age. Right? For respective categories, the age limit, the number of attempts have gone up. 9 and no limit. Okay. Even Divyang people can also appear this examination. Divyangajan, they can also appear this examination, and some seats are reserved to these people also. त्यांच्यासाठी काही जागा पण रिझर्व असतात. So this is about number of attempt. Okay, हे कशाच्या बाबतीमध्ये आहे? This is about number of attempts, right? Now, what about the examination center? Okay, you can appear the examination at different places. The first preliminary examination is conducted in different places in Maharashtra. We have got Aurangabad, presently known as Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, Mumbai, Pune, Navi Mumbai, Thane, and Nasik, even Nagpur. These are 6 centers in Maharashtra at which the preliminary examination is conducted. And as far as the main examination is conducted, at present in Maharashtra, it's in Mumbai. But it is generally held at different state capitals, the main examination. Okay, and interview is held in Delhi, in UPSC headquarters. UPSC चे मुख्यालय आहे तिथे interview होते. Okay, now coming to application, mode of application and fees. Applications are to be made through this online website. When the notification comes out, you visit this website, you can apply. The fee for this examination is 100 rupees for the prelims, 200 rupees for the main examination. Prelims fee किती आहे? 100 रुपये. And main fee किती आहे? 200. The women candidate, see here, female, SC, ST and PH candidate. Female, SC, ST, PH candidate are exempted from payment of fees. They don't have to pay the fees. Fee भरायची नाही. In zero amount of fees, they can appear the examination. This is the only examination in India. हे भारतातली एकमेव अशी examination आहे, which is conducted in 100 rupees in the prelims. फक्त 100 रुपयामध्ये. शाळेची पण एक्झाम 100 रुपयामध्ये भरतो. This is another dimension of this examination, rather characteristic of this examination. 100 रुपयांमध्ये. मेन्सला किती फी भरावी लागते? 200. Certain candidates don't have to pay at all. Certain candidates ना फीस भरावी लागत. त्याच्यावर what is the topic on this? When certain candidates don't have to pay the fees, when you go UPSC interview, जेव्हा तुम्ही UPSC interview ला जाता ना, suppose you are traveling from Pune to Delhi for UPSC interview, they pay you 900 rupees or 1000 rupees because you all the way came from Pune to Delhi for the personality test. So they provide you to and fro fare of train. सेकंड क्लास तिकीट देतात तुम्हाला. पुण्यातून 450-500 रुपये लागतात जायला. याला 450-500 रुपये स्लीपर क्लासचं तिकीट. डोंट एक्सपेक्ट टू बी एसी वाला तिकीट. ओके, तेवढे पैसे आपल्याला ते देतात. When you don't pay single rupee as a fee, still they are compensating you with the train fare. During COVID times, they literally ask candidate to fly. They ask candidate, you please don't come by road or train, take flight, we'll reimburse flight fare. आम्ही flight fare पण देतो. So many aspirant during COVID times, for the first time, they traveled in plane on the government's money, on government's fare, literally. That was one time, exceptional. Now again they started paying train fares. म्हणजे 100 रुपये आणि 200 रुपये. No other examination is conducted in such a small amount of fees. कळलं? म्हणजे ती तुम्हाला लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड किती देऊ शकते? Simply the fees of examination is so high and some candidates are not appearing. This shouldn't happen. Fees is deliberately kept at low. Women candidates are encouraged to apply. ते म्हणतात women candidate ने apply करा. फी भरू नका. We'll take care of that. We want gender balance in our bureaucracy. Gender balance वाढला पाहिजे. See the extent at which they are thinking about that. Well, this is the policy of government. Of course, must be designed by some bureaucrat selected through UPSC again. त्यांनी ठरवलं असताना असं करूया आपण, which may benefit us. कळलं? आणि तुम्ही जेव्हा ग्रॅज्युएट असताना, I said any graduate can appear. There are doctors who can appear the examination. There are engineers can appear the examination. आहेत ना, डॉक्टर्स आहेत, इंजिनियर्स आहेत, सगळे appear होतात. Everybody has equal number of attempt in respective category. Irrespective of graduation, the questions are same. The question paper is same for engineers, doctor, arts, commerce, science, any graduate, same question paper. Questions of main examination will be also same. Questions in personality will be different. And why questions in personality test are different? वहाँ पे different क्यों रहते हैं? क्या असतात वेगळे? कारण everybody's personality is different. Even interview panel is also different. So except those questions, we can also plot some pattern in those questions. त्याच्यामध्ये पण आपल्याला एक पॅटर्न सापडतो. ओके, आणि तो पॅटर्न वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचा असू शकतो. Almost everyone who is appearing from Ferguson College, which is just walking distance from this place, everybody who is appearing from Ferguson College, they are asked a question by many members who was Ferguson. Why the name of Ferguson College is Ferguson? 10 पैकी 7-8 लोकांना प्रश्न विचारलाच गेला. That's very common question. So we can also predict some interview question. तुम्हाला सांग, आम्ही आमच्या कॉलेजमधून आलोय, आमच्या कॉलेजचं नाव विचारतील का? ते मी आस्क यू. ओके, तुम्ही काय उत्तर देता हे महत्वाचं नाही, देताय की नाही महत्वाचं. त्याच्यापेक्षा महत्वाचं काय, तुम्ही ते कसं देता. Suppose you said I'm coming from Taluka place and the name of college is KTHM college. For example, people coming from Nasik, college नाव KTHM college for example. मी सांगितलं तर ते ऐकून घेतील. आणि मोठ्या शहरांमध्ये कसं असतं, in big cities, the people who are conducting our interviews, they are not coming from say moon. ते कुठून वरून आलेले नाही. They are part of our society. So they know these places. Most of the panel members, they may have been student of Ferguson College. So तुम्ही फर्ग्युसन मध्ये गेला त्यांना वाटतं आपल्यातच कोणतं राहिलं. Somebody from us. So they may go into their college memories. Some bad, some good, some very good, some very best. Differ for candidate to candidate. होऊ शकतं ना असं. ओके, जेव्हा तुम्ही इंटरव्ह्यूला जाता, so how many questions you are answering doesn't make any difference. How do you answer the question really does make difference. तुम्ही प्रश्नांची उत्तरं कशी देता. कारण म्हणून तिथले क्वेश्चन थोडे वेगळे असू शकतात. Otherwise, in such a small amount of fees, no other examinations conduct. Even for MPSC examination also, we may have to pay approximately 400 rupees as a fee for the preliminary examination. 400 रुपये फी भरावी लागते MPSC approximately. थोडी कमी जास्ती आहे ती, पण मी सरासरी तुम्हाला सांगतो. So this is the reason the examination is so popular and competed by aspirant across all level. वेगळ्या लेवलवर ती कॉम्पिट केली जाते. And we see there are aspirants from different walks of graduation. वेगवेगळ्या graduation मधले ते आहे. Not from a single graduation. If I show you the list of candidate coming from different graduation, let me show the list of candidate. You will understand. Right? So this is the brochure of our course. So these are the few aspirants who were student of this 3 years interior course. Vaishnavi, Piyush, these both guys were engineer. Okay, Snehal was a graduate in agriculture. Mandar, who is presently IISc in Maharashtra, he was also engineering graduate. Okay, Rahul is a plain arts graduate, Bachelor of Arts, who studied in Wadia College. Diva is into foreign services. She was student of Ferguson College. completed her BA. Vaibhav also completed his BA from Ferguson College. Okay. Akshay is an engineer who is into IPS, going to serve in Tamil Nadu cater. He was also an engineer. So the engineer hota. Okay. Jainam is also graduate in statistics, Bachelor of Science in Statistics from Ferguson College. Okay. Tushar is also selected. He also graduate in physics, BSc in physics. So if you see this list of different candidates who were part of this course, who got into services, they are coming from different graduation fields. I'm not sharing you the list of different services in state also. These people who attended this course, they were also selected in state services examination. Some people also selected in Central Armed Police Services examination. Okay, so we have got long list of aspirants who were part of this batch. Rather, we are very proud of these people. They studied in the batch in the same classroom where you are sitting right now, and they are serving the country to a desired level. Okay, so there are students aspirant coming from different graduation fields. All right, all these people were part of this course. They studied initially. They started from beginning itself, and I'm repeatedly saying this. To start preparing for this examination doesn't mean you have to go and read the books. We have to work on skill set. आपल्याला कशावरती काम करायचंय? Skill set वरती काम करायचंय. आणि मी तुम्हाला randomly काही skills सांगितले. We shall read, we shall write, we shall have proficiency over the language. We shall also develop our personality. This is going to help. And this task cannot be completed in a fortnight. 15 दिवसामध्ये task complete करतो असं होत नाही. It doesn't happen. That will be completed in 15 days. It takes months, years to sharpen your skills. And the process of sharpening skill doesn't stop. Once you achieve that skill set, everything is going to stop. No, that is not going to happen. You may have to learn more and more things. मला अजून वेगवेगळ्या गोष्टी शिकाव्या लागतात. The process goes on. आणि UPSC ची ही जी परीक्षा आहे ती तुम्हाला नेमकी काय करते माहिती आहे? How does it help you? It help you to identify yourself in very own manner. ती तुम्हाला खूप वेगळ्या पद्धतीने स्वतःला आयडेंटिफाय करायला मदत करते. When it helps you to identify in own manner. खूप वेगळ्या पद्धतीने तुम्हाला सगळ्या गोष्टी शिकवतात. That's really beneficial. ते खूप beneficial आपल्याला ठरतं. And it's not about the examination. This is a similar examination of similar like 10th, 12th and even graduation examination. त्याच्यासारखीच आहे. The only difference is competition is tough and all India. थोडीशी tough competition आहे. All India levelची competition आहे. But when you have or you possess the desired skill set, it's easy to crack the examination. So many students already did that. Okay. This examination is conducted in 3 stages. Examination किती stage मध्ये conduct होतो? 3 stage मध्ये conduct होतो. It has got preliminary examination, it has got main examination, and there is a personality test. The examination cycle lasts for a year. 1 वर्षासाठी ते cycle चालतं. Okay. The preliminary examination of 2023 was conducted on 28th of May. 28 मेला ती examination घेतली गेली. कधी? 28 मेला. The result of this examination was declared within a fortnight. This is again another characteristic of this examination. Only 15 days, result declared. Candidates who passed the preliminary examination, it was declared. Okay, and their main examination is going to commence from upcoming Saturday. येणाऱ्या शनिवार त्यांची main examination. Coincidentally, we are near to that, but their main examination is on Saturday. त्यांची main examination कधी आहे? Saturday. Okay, त्यांचे 9 papers असतात. So this weekend there will be 3 days of examination, and next weekend there will be 2 days of examination. In 5 days examination will over. Okay, so that was month of May. Notification came out in the month of February. February 2023, advertisement came out. Examination conducted in May 23, 28th of May 23. Result was declared within 15 days. Now the main examination is going to be conducted. The result of main examination will be declared in the month of December, approximately. December will declare, and they will start their interviews from January end or February. January end का February पासून त्यांचे interviews सुरू होते. Personality test. जेव्हा त्यांची personality test सुरू होते, they make sure they complete personality test and declaration of result before May 2024. 2024 मेच्या आधीच ती process complete करतात. So before next preliminary examination, the earlier cycle is complete. पुढचे prelims व्हायच्या आधी आधीची cycle complete केली जाते. So it takes almost a year. त्याला 1 वर्ष लागतं. ही सगळी प्रोसेस कंप्लीट व्हायला, पण पुढच्या परीक्षेच्या आधी ती कंप्लीट केली जाते. सो those who got into IAS, suppose, or any service of their choice, they feel relaxed that they don't have to appear the examination again. परत परीक्षा द्यायची नाही. पण ज्यांना मिळत नाही, डिझायर्ड सर्व्हिस मिळत नाही, those who are not selected, they may again think of reappearing the examination. For how many times can they appear examination? As long as their age limit and age attempt limit permit them, they can appear the examination. Right? Briefly, I'll also explain the statistics about the examination. See, when it comes to number of aspirants, see in prelims examination, so many aspirants are appearing, no doubt. खूप एक्झाम ऍस्पिरंट आहे जे प्रिलिम्स मध्ये काय अपियर होताना आपल्याला दिसतं. वी सी दे आर अपियरिंग सो मेनी. ओके, आता जर आपण त्याच्यामध्ये गेलो तर इफ 1000 कॅन्डिडेट्स आर टू बी सिलेक्टेड, फायनली किती कॅन्डिडेट सिलेक्ट करायचे? 1000. इफ वी अज्युम सो, देन अप्रॉक्सिमेटली 2300 to 2400 कॅन्डिडेट्स विल बी कॉल फॉर अ पर्सनॅलिटी टेस्ट. एवढ्या लोकांना पर्सनॅलिटीसाठी बोलवतात. आउट ऑफ 12,000 who write main examination, approximately 12,000 who write the main examination. आणि prelims किती लोक लिहितात? How many people write prelims? There are lakhs of people who write prelims. 3-4 लाखापासून किती पण असू शकतात. So out of those lakhs people, how many will be qualified for the prelim examination? 12,000. Out of 12,000, how many will be called for a personality test? 23 to 2400. Out of which, how many will be selected? 1,000. When you are appearing this examination, planning to appear the examination, don't think of these 1,000 people. I am asking you to think of first 10, first 20, first 30. Can you do that? Yes or no? You can do that, provided you are on right track. You have to be right track. Forget about 1,000 people. You don't have to be 1,000 people. You don't have to be in 1,000 people. I expect you to be in these numbers. Is that possible? Provided you take right track, right path. These numbers are scary. लाख लोक बसतात. आजचा धक्का बसू, लाख लोक. Numbers are scary, but don't worry. Almost barring few candidates, most of the candidates are amateurs. देऊन बघतो, घरच्यांनी सांगितलंय, मित्राबरोबर आलोय, बहिणीचा फॉर्म भरलाय म्हणून मी आलोय. इथं पासून सकाळच्या पेपरला असतं, दुपारी येतच नाहीत. इथं पासून ते परीक्षेला जातच नाही. So most of the aspirants are not serious enough. ते सिरियस नसतात. So the numbers are scary. Don't worry about that. Present, I feel, this is my own personal estimation, which may be wrong. Approximately 50,000 we may find those are very serious at all India level, or who may have that ability of passing the prelims. Because see, there are many aspirants who are worth selecting or worth becoming officers, but due to the examination structure, they are not able to pass all stages of examination. I'm not saying only the persons who pass the examinations are deserving. Even there are certain persons who are equally deserving. Unfortunately, they are not able to clear the examination matrix. This is how it works. जे पास होत नाही ते सुद्धा चांगले असतात. कधी कधी ते एक्झामिनेशन मध्ये पास होऊ शकत नाही बिकॉज ऑफ डिफरंट रिझन्स. दे आर व्हेरी गुड ॲट जीएस बट लॅक इन सीसॅट. दे आर व्हेरी गुड इन थिअरी बट देअर पर्सनॅलिटी इज टू वीक. देअर पर्सनॅलिटी इज सो शार्प बट दे आर नॉट एबल टू पास द मेन एक्झामिनेशन. खूप व्हरायटी आपल्याला सापडते. तो दो नंबर्स आर ह्यूज. डोंट वरी, ओनली हैंडफुल ऑफ कैंडिडेट्स आर सीरियस. उसमें से कितने लोग पास होते हैं मेन एग्जामिनेशन के लिए? 12,000. आउट ऑफ विच हाउ मेनी विल गो फॉर द पर्सनैलिटी टेस्ट? 24,300 to 2,400. And how many candidates will be in the final list? 1,000. I want you to think of first 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, not more than that. 1,000 मध्ये सहजच जाल ना तुम्ही. If you are serious, think of these numbers. का त्या नंबरचा विचार करायचा आहे? When you think of these numbers, what will happen? When you think of these numbers, what will happen? You may get into desired service of your choice. तुम्हाला जी हवी आहे ती तुम्हाला. Later on you will get into services. You will be getting into services. Services मध्ये जा. प्रॉब्लेम काय? जा ना सर्व्हिसेस मध्ये तुम्ही जा. मे बी तुमच्या चॉईसशी नसेल. ओके, कॅन यू रिअपेअर द एक्झामिनेशन आफ्टर दॅट? रिअपेअर करू शकाल का? करता येत. यू कॅन रिअपेअर प्रोव्हाइडेड you have left with attempts and age, right? Attempts and age. ठीक आहे, लक्षात आहे तुमच्या? So examinations conducted in how many stages? 3 stages. Of course, I'm going to explain those 3 stages to all. त्याच्याविषयी आपण बोलणारच आहोत. The first stage of preliminary examination is a screening test. पहिली कुठली आहे? Screening test. Okay, and there are 2 papers. How many papers are there? There are 2 papers in the preliminary examination. This is the preliminary examination. There are 2 papers. It consists of 2 papers. Each carrying 200 marks. This is the paper 1. This is the paper 2. But this paper 2 is a qualifying one. No? Means you have to qualify in this paper. When you qualify this paper, then only paper 1 will be evaluated. तेव्हा कुठला पेपर इव्हॅल्युएट केला जाईल? पेपर 1 जो आहे तो इव्हॅल्युएट केला जाईल. What will be evaluated? Paper 1 will be evaluated. ठीक आहे. पेपर 1 मध्ये किती मार्क्स पडायला पाहिजे? How much or how many marks you should get to pass this examination? Number is not fixed. Each year it varies. प्रत्येक वर्षी तो बदलत जातो. Out of 200, it varies. Last year it was around 88. 88 च्या आसपास होता. Last year. Okay. It can also go to 110 depending on the difficulty level of paper. प्रत्येक वर्षी तो बदलत जातो. How many vacancies are there and cut off accordingly it varies. त्याच्यामुळे तो फरक पडताना आपल्याला दिसतो. ठीक आहे. So general studies paper 1, general studies paper 2. Qualifying, general studies paper second is qualifying. If you see the syllabus of this paper first, current events of national and international importance. What is this? Current event. आपल्या आजूबाजूला जे घडतं ते. Have you read about G20? G20. One family. Okay. One earth, one family, one future. बरोबर ना? One earth, one family, one future. That was a tagline, motto of the G20. We were the president of G20 for last 1 year. Now the presidency has been shifted to Brazil. It works in triocon. Last year Indonesia was the president. This year India was the president. Next year Brazil will be acting as a president. So we handed over the G20 to Brazil on Saturday. आपण त्यांना देऊन टाकला तर तुम्ही घ्या. It's like a relay race from one to other. This is what current events of national international importance. As you most of the people said about G20, it means you are aware of current affairs. Only thing is you may need to go into details of that. Okay. The history of India and Indian national movement. We have got a long history. आपली history आहे. So it's history of India as well as Indian national movement. Indian national movement is a freedom struggle. Indian national movement काय आहे? Freedom struggle. तर त्याची हिस्ट्री आपल्याला त्यांनी विचारलेली आहे. You have read about this. तुम्ही तुमच्या याच्याविषयी वाचलेला आहे, शाळेमध्ये वाचलेला आहे. Out of interest also you may be reading about history. There is an Indian and world geography. Geographical phenomena. Are you aware of monsoon? This year we are deliberately or rather waiting for the monsoon to shower us. पाऊसच पडत नाहीये. Geographical phenomena. La Nina, El Nino. If you have heard about that, all the geographical phenomena. We have to study physical, social, economic geography. Have you heard of Western Ghat? Western Ghat विषय ऐकले? Heard of Western Ghat? ते त्याच्यामध्ये आहे. Indian polity and governance. What is that? Indian polity and governance. The study of constitution. Elections wala. Election. Have you heard of elections? Elections are like festivals in India. The election festival is approaching soon. येणारच काही दिवसांमध्ये आपल्याकडे. त्याचा अभ्यास आपल्याला ह्याच्यामध्ये करावा लागतो. इलेक्शन म्हणले की प्रॉमिसेस, फेक और जेन्युइन प्रॉमिसेस, कंडिशन्स अप्लाय. ओके. इलेक्शन कमिशन ऑफ इंडिया, रोल, पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज, all we study about it in polity and governance. You said court वाला मामला सांगितलं. Judiciary, we also study in Indian governance. Economic and social development. What is that? Economic and social development. We have to study about the economical and social development of India. Sustainable development, poverty, inclusion, demographics, social sector initiatives. Subtopics are given. General issues on environmental ecology, biodiversity and climate change. Environmental ecology, biodiversity, climate change. If you recently passed 12th standard examination, I believe so. You might have studied about the environment ecology. त्याचे काही aspects तुम्ही अभ्यास केला असेल. तेच आपल्याला इथं आहे. And this is general science. Okay, this is general science. हे जे आहे हे कशामध्ये आहे? That is all part of general studies paper 1. How many questions will be there? 100 questions carrying 2 marks each and duration will be of 2 hours. 2 घंटे का समय रहेगा आपके पास. उसमें से आपको 100 सवाल attempt करने. We do not recommend all students to attempt all questions because it carries negative marking system. वहाँ पे कौन सी marking system है? Negative. For 3 wrong answers, marks of 1 corrected question will be deducted. अगर आप 3 सवालों को गलत करते हो तो एक सही सवाल का जो मार्क्स है उसमें इस अंक को काट दिया जाए. ठीक है, इट हैज नेगेटिव मार्किंग सिस्टम. क्या नेगेटिव मार्किंग सिस्टम आए. ओके, देन देयर इज जनरल स्टडीज पेपर सेकंड. वहां पे कितने सवाल होंगे? 80 क्वेश्चंस, ईच क्वेश्चन कैरिंग 2.5 मार्क्स एंड देयर आर हाउ मेनी टॉपिक्स आर हियर? देयर आर 7 टॉपिक्स. कितने टॉपिक्स है वहां पे? 7. फर्स्ट वन इज कॉम्प्रिहेंशन. यू रीड द पैसेज, आंसर द क्वेश्चंस बेस्ड ऑन पैसेज. पैसेज को पढ़ना है, उसके ऊपर सवालों का जवाब देना है. We have did this. अपन आदि केले. We have done that earlier. Interpersonal skills including communication skills, logical reasoning, analytical ability. If you apply different scholarship examinations, you can solve these questions very easily. Decision making and problem solving. You'll be given a situation. Situation दी जाएगी, and you will be asked to highlight select the best appropriate course of action. Decision making and problem solving. And there is a general mental ability. What is there? General mental ability. Then basic numeracy, data interpretation, and English language comprehension skills. These are also subcomponents of this paper. You have to score at least 33% marks in this paper to qualify it. मतलब कितने marks आपको मिलने चाहिए? 66.66 out of 200. एवढे marks तुम्हाला मिळाला पाहिजे. When you get this much amount of mark, then you qualify the paper second, then your paper first will be evaluated, and based on merit of paper 1, you will be called for the main examination. You'll be surprised to know there's one candidate selected this year, got into IPS. एक candidate आहे IPS मध्ये गेला. स्टुडंटच आपला. त्याला सेकंड पेपर मध्ये किती मार्क्स मिळाले माहिती आहे? Can you imagine how much marks he got in second paper? He got exactly एवढेच मार्क्स मिळाले. He qualified paper second. And what is the result? He directly got into IPS. थेट कुठे गेला? IPS मध्ये. Not because of this, sir. He passed prelims, he passed main, he qualified personality test, he became part of IPS. Luck, hard work. ठीक आहे, त्याचं हार्ड वर्क आहेच आहे. अनफॉर्च्युनेटली त्याला खूप मार्जिनवर स्कोर होता. He wasn't sure about the prelims, but he got through. When he saw this marks after declaration of result, हे मार्क्स पण तुम्हाला कळतात आफ्टर फायनल डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ रिझल्ट. त्याचा रिझल्ट लागला 4 दिवस झोपलाच नाही तो. फायनल सिलेक्शन झालं बिकॉज नो बडी अलाउड हिम टू स्लीप. म्हणून झोपच दिले का? बिकॉज देयर वर सो मेनी पीपल व्हिजिटिंग हिम because he came from humble background and because of which his success was acknowledged to a great extent. Nobody allowed him to sleep. झोपले की कोणतरी यायचं सत्कार पेढे. 4 दिवस म्हटलं तेच काम करत. जेव्हा आता सगळं झालं, when everything settled and UPSC declared the marks of preliminary examination which he gave, that is CSE of 2022, his marks were exactly like this. Goosebumps आ गए उसके ऊपर. त्याला वाटलं की अरे काय म्हणजे, but he escaped. आगे जाके आता परीक्षा द्यायची नाही, परत विचारच करली. ठीक आहे, असं पण कधी कधी होऊ शकतं. बट वी शॅल फोकस ऑन मोर डिसेंट नंबर ऑफ मार्क्स ऑफ सेकंड पेपर टू स्टे इन सेफ झोन. थोडं सेफ झोन मध्ये असलेलं आपण कधी पण बेटर आहे. वेन यू पास द प्रिलिमिनरी एग्जामिनेशन विल बी कॉल्ड फॉर द मेन एग्जामिनेशन. जब प्री को आप क्वालिफाई करेंगे, आप कहाँ पे जाओगे? मेन एग्जामिनेशन के लिए आप जा सकते. right? We'll be going for main examination. Okay. So prelims is like a screening test. Prelim वाला examination कौन सी है? It's like a screening test. Screening test है वहाँ पे, right? Screening test ही आहे. आणि जेव्हा तुम्ही त्याच्यामध्ये पास होता, you'll be called for the main examination. तुम्हाला main examination विषयी बोलवलं जाईल. But I'm reserving discussion of main examination for another day. And when you pass the main examination, you'll be called for the personality test. तुम्हाला कशाला बोलवलं जाईल? Personality test ला बोलवलं जाईल. And when you pass personality test also, out of grand total of 2025, out of this total, how many marks you are getting based on that will be placed into merit list. तुम्हाला merit list मध्ये स्थान मिळेल. And again, according to your preferences, will be allotted as service. त्याच्या basis वर तुम्हाला काय allot केली जाईल? Service allot केली जाईल. Right? So this is grand total of marks. Okay. Of course, we are going to discuss about the main examination and that aspect, but that will be discussed in tomorrow's class. So I'll come back to again the points from where we started. मी थोडासा recap घेतो आणि आपण ज्याच्यापासून सुरुवात केली त्याच्याकडे आपण येऊया. We started with understanding what are civil services. They serve the people. There are how many categories of civil services? 4. A, B, C, D. We focused on A and B. A and B recruited by PSC, Public Service Commissions. There are two types of PSCs, UPSC and SPSC. Again, we focused, narrowed down our discussion to UPSC. UPSC conduct so many examinations, out of which again we are interested only in one examination of CSE. And why are we interested in one examination? Because it's one examination, 22 services, and any graduate can appear there with paying only fees of 100 rupees. 100 रुपये fee फक्त भरणार. Right. To pass this examination, you require skill set. So we recommend you to start early. It doesn't mean you have to compromise your present curriculum. तुम्ही present curriculum compromise करायला पाहिजे असं नाही. Because once you acquire this skill set is also going to help you in other graduation streams also. So तुम्हाला इतर ठिकाणी पण मदत करणार आहे. Okay. And when you are very serious about this, याच्या बाबतीमध्ये खूपच serious असाल. And when you prepare this examination for 3 years, eventually you will get successful in the examination. There are students who did this. आधी असे खूप student आहेत आणि ते केलेलं आहे. Again, I must make it very clear. तुम्ही वयाच्या कितव्या वर्षी सिलेक्ट होता, that doesn't matter in the beginning. सुरुवातीला त्याचा फारसा फरक पडत नाही, whether you get into services at 21 years of age or later on. Of course, it is beneficial to get into services at early age. आधी जाण्याचा फायदाच असतो. But ultimately what matters is success. तुम्हाला त्याच्यामध्ये यश मिळालं आहे का? नाही. And if you see the age profile of the aspirants selected in examination, starting from 21 to 32, you will find candidates from every age category, starting from 21 to 32. I showed the photograph of Vaibhav in the brochure. He graduated from Ferguson College in the month of May. It was a COVID year, so their examinations were delayed. He appeared examination in the month of July, but by the time he already appeared the preliminary examination. त्यांनी प्री दिली होती, तो पास पण झाला. In the month of October, November, in the month of December, he appeared main examination. By the time even the graduation certificate was also not generated. In February, March, he appeared interview. And in the month of May, he was selected. So graduate झाला October, November मध्ये आणि पुढच्या 5-6 महिन्यात सिलेक्ट झाला. Not only he, there was one student of called as Nitisha. She also selected. So she also selected in the same year from same college, his batchmate. But both these guys were doing that for 3 years. Okay, don't take it otherwise that only 3 years are required to prepare. Why we are considering 3 years? Because they were in the first year. They started and by the time they graduated, they were selected. In the same batch, there were other people also who were selected, but not in their first year immediately after graduation. They did appear twice, thrice, but eventually they got selected. Then नंतर select झालेला आहे. So that is what it matters. Selection is important. Okay. तर ह्या त्यातल्या बाबी आहेत. And for that purpose you require certain skill set. तो skill set असायला पाहिजे. I briefly referred some skills. मी काही skills briefly referred केले, but we are again going to talk about this skill set in detail. And exactly in 3 years course we are doing that. तुमचं मत आहे की आपण ते करायला पाहिजे. We also teach you. The entire course is divided into 3 years. In first year, 4 subjects are delivered. There is a syllabus which you just saw. There's a syllabus. That syllabus is divided into 10 subjects. Okay, in first year we focus on 4 subjects. In second year we focus on 6 subjects. And in third year, all these subjects are revised, including some remaining topics. So this is the course structure. The lectures of this batch will be conducted from Monday to Wednesday at 5 o'clock. 5 ते 7 या वेळेमध्ये lectures होतील. Okay, Monday to Wednesday. हे 5 ते 7 मध्ये असणार आहे. Okay, in case you miss the lecture, either you can watch the recordings of the lecture. तुम्ही त्या lecture recording बघू शकता. You will get the access to portal. तुम्हाला त्या portalचा access मिळेल. तुम्ही त्याच्यावरती बघू शकता. Okay, and if you want to attend, you can also attend weekend batch. There's a similar batch in weekend format also. Okay, you can also attend that batch in case you miss the class. Okay, and you want to attend in live classes, so that facility is also available. Okay, so in this course, we are going to teach you the syllabus, which has been divided into 10 subjects. These subjects are not given by UPSC, but for our convenience, we have divided syllabus into subjects. For example, in first year, we teach you history, economics, Indian constitution, and Indian society. Of course, we have taken this out from syllabus given by UPSC. हे 4 subject first year मध्ये आहेत. In second year, we are teaching you world history, international relations, the topic of ethics, science and technology. We also teach you geography. Okay, so these aspects are taught in second year. In third year, all these topics are revised. There is a revision. The topics are revision. And there are certain topics which are not covered in first 2 years. These are covered in third year. Along with this, we make sure you get this essential skill set. We also provide you mentor support continuously for preparation of your examination. Right? So tomorrow, another colleague will come and he'll be discussing about the main examination aspect. Today, we briefly touch the preliminary examination aspect. We deliver about the main examination. So what is the essential skill set required to pass the main examination? All that. So in first few days, we'll have some introduction to topics, different topics. त्याच्यामध्ये वेगळे topics आहेत त्याला आपण introduction त्याचं करून घेणार आहे. We have got different teacher for different subject. It's not one teacher is teaching all the subjects. Okay, we have got different teachers for different subject. You may see the list of faculties who are teaching to this batch. Okay, त्याच्यात मी पण आहे. My name is Pravin. Okay, Mr. Rushkesh sir is teaching economics. Okay, Pravin sir is teaching history, world history. We have got another colleague, Mr. Rahul, is teaching Indian politics, ethics. Okay, Amrita ma'am is teaching history. Sumit sir is teaching CSAT, Indian society. Ranjit sir is teaching economics. Rahul sir is teaching geography. Mayuri ma'am is teaching international relations. Ram sir is teaching world history. Sunny sir is teaching science and technology. We have batches in both mediums, Marathi as well as English. The weekend batches are different for Marathi, different for English. This batch we are going to deliver in bilingual format. Bilingual format मध्ये आहे. Okay, if you see the classroom at third floor right now, is a batch of second year. Second year ची batch त्याच्यामध्ये चालू आहे. Okay, the guys who rolled from first year to second year. So we have a list of faculty come mentors who are experienced in their respective domain. All right. So this is what I wanted to share with all you in the introductory class. Every Monday to Wednesday, we are going to assemble for lectures at 5 AM. Okay, so at this note, I'm going to conclude my delivery of session. Now the forum is open for the questions. Now I'll take up some questions. तुमचे काही प्रश्न असतील तर मी ते घेणार आहे. Questions? Any? Are there any questions? This is like brick by brick we build the castle. हळूहळू प्रयत्न करत राहायचे. Eventually, whatever we have to build in examination. No, see, as I said in the beginning, I'm going to deliver in English as well as in Marathi. Okay, English आणि मराठी मध्ये आहे. मराठी समजतं तुम्ही? Okay, so the content will be delivered in both languages because sometimes it's easy for some student to understand in Marathi. काही लोकांना मराठीमध्ये समजणं खूप सोपं आहे. But we make sure neither candidate is affected who is learning in the same medium. Weekend batches we are conducting in different modes, English as well as Marathi. If you want access of that batch, you can also get that. Okay, but we have to think of entire classroom. सगळ्या classमध्ये विचार करावा लागेल. Okay. My name is Pravin. I'm the course director of this batch. Okay, I'm teaching this batch since we began this batch from 2012. 2012 पासून आम्ही याच्यामध्ये शिकवतोय. I showed the list of candidates who were part of this classroom program early. Okay, and this is list of only candidate passed from UPSC. I haven't shared you the list of candidates who, along with this examination, got into different CAPF examinations and other state services examinations. Okay. You can also